Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, better known as WIC, is a government-funded program for healthcare and nutritional services for mothers who are expecting, breastfeeding, and those who have children under the age of 5.
The breastfeeding article focuses on how WIC encourages mothers to start breastfeeding. Nowadays, breastfeeding is seen as something that's very controversial. Mothers are expected to bounce back right after pregnancy, and formulas are being pushed upon mothers as opposed to breast milk, and WIC is trying to change that. So they decided to do a study in Massachusetts with new moms as well as moms who had babies in the past, and see when they join the WIC program, what period in pregnancy would they actually start breastfeeding for a long time. And so in the article, they found out that moms who joined WIC during the prenatal period, those are going to be the moms that actually breastfeed for a long amount of time, which in return helps the baby because breast milk is really good for them. And the article concludes with the fact that this is possible because of the employees that WIC has. They're very nice, helpful, friendly, and they just train the mothers very well when it comes to the knowledge of how to properly breastfeed and, again, the effects and nutrients that it has for babies.
The accuracy of our research study is that it included over 120,000 women of all races from the state of Massachusetts. What makes the study valid is that the researchers did not use any controls. They just gathered the data from each of the ladies and assessed the information. While it's hard to say state to state what period in a pregnancy ensures a longer duration of breastfeeding, the data is still reliable in the sense that WIC has improved the numbers of mothers who do initiate breastfeeding their babies. The pros of our article, due to it being published in 2015, is that it reinforces the current data and that they had a large and diverse sample from which they gathered the information. The cons of this study was that the information gathered was only from the women in Massachusetts instead of nationwide women.
Our research article studied the patients on WIC in Kansas. It compared the rural and urban areas of women who smoked before, during, and after their pregnancies. It was noted that it was more of a problem for smoking women to be in rural areas than it was in urban. The article also mentions the babies born to smoking mothers had a much greater birth defects. The study of our article was conducted in Kansas within the urban and rural areas, questioning 21,650 women between the years of 2005 and 2011, showing the accuracy of our article. Regarding our article's validity, the study was conducted through a questionnaire given to willing WIC enrolled women. They used the chi-square test of association to note the differences.
The study was conducted through the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, and the data was collected and submitted to the CDC, proving the reliability of the information. While this article did cover a wide range of participants over an extended period of time, the study only covered Kansas participants and ended in 2011, limiting the environmental and recent differences in the data.
Our article was over the revisions made to the WIC nutrition program, which expanded the variety of foods available to less fortunate families. The results that were researched showed that the policies within the program were able to increase the accessibility and availability of healthy food choices in authorized stores, including culturally-friendly foods as well.
To show accurate results, the final sample for before and after implementation of the policy changes consisted of 105 WIC authorized stores from 19 cities and 17 counties in Texas. Among the 105 stores that participated, 19% were from rural areas and 81% were from urban areas. These stores were grouped into 3 categories based on their size: small, medium, and large. Since stores of different characteristics from different regions were surveyed, results showed an accurate evaluation of the policy changes among ethnically and socioeconomically diverse populations. To prove validity, data re-entry was conducted on 20% of the sample as a quality control check, and greater than 98% accuracy was demonstrated.
We believe this research was trustworthy and reliable because it was funded by the University of Texas and Texas A&M, as well as the Texas Department of State Health Services. And also in the article, they stated there was no conflict of interest, so the results weren't biased in any way possible. And so we believe this study could be repeated again. And then for the pros of the article, the revised policies in the program were able to increase the accessibility and availability of the healthy foods in the WIC stores. And like she said, with the policies and the timeline, there's a 3-year period, so they were implemented and not just a result of being a short 1-year change. And so these policies should last more than 3 years and continue on. And then cons, like the smaller stores, they could not increase the affordability of the foods, and also rural stores need more help implementing and keeping the WIC changes as well.
The PEDNSS, the Pediatric Nutrition Surveillance System, analyzed obesity among 2 to 4-year-olds during 2008-2011. Races affected were predominantly Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, Asians from 19 to 43 state WIC agencies in the U.S. Report analyzed in 2010 through 2014 that the first study to use the WIC participants and program characteristics data, modest declines in obesity in all 5 races. Overall, obesity prevalence was still higher than the national average, standing at 14.5%.
We feel that the data was very accurate because it came from many different races, ethnicities, backgrounds, genders, all from WIC's 56 different agencies. We also feel that the data wasn't very reliable because some of the information was cut out from not being consistent. And we also think that the data was valid because WIC worked with many different agencies like CDC and the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
The pros of this article that the study was not overnight, it was held over several years. Also, the sample was very broad. There was 22 million kids ages between 2 and 4 from the 56 different WIC agencies. The cons of this article is that some of the data was excluded because it was inconsistent. For example, the data from Hawaii was excluded.